This is Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance in Sacramento today in our Capitol Bureau, joined by Jacqui Irwin, member of the California State Assembly, representing significant portions of Ventura County, a small piece of LA County.
That's right.
I want to speak with you about cybersecurity. Obviously, it's in the news a lot lately. What we don't know is the extent of breaches that occurred in 2016, but something went amiss in 2016 in terms of cybersecurity. Can you elucidate, give us a sense?
A sense of
just, what we're facing today. What do we face as elected officials?
Certainly.
What do we face as average citizens, as business owners? I really don't know where to turn.
Well, I think this has been a big topic for the last few years, and with every breach, people are getting more and more concerned. So I think the first time there was real awareness was with the Sony breach, and then you had the OPM breach, and now we saw a breach that could potentially have affected the outcome of a presidential election. Certainly, that it appeared that was the intention.
It's remarkable to think that, assuming the facts are as we understand them to be, that the Russian government had somehow broken into Democratic Party computers and strategically leaked information every single day to hurt a Democratic candidate. Wow.
Well, this is going to happen more and more, and I am currently the chair of the Assembly Select Committee on Cybersecurity, and then the National Conference of State Legislatures. I'm the chair of the committee there that's a task force to try to put together a white paper on what we should be doing as state legislatures to make sure that the state is doing what it can to protect the information of its residents.
Right, and that's the question, because there are so many levels. What are you protecting? Are you protecting my personal computer? Are you protecting the state's computer for its environmental records or its health records? What are you looking to protect?
Well, we're looking to protect the information that the state holds, and there is all sorts of very sensitive information there, from medical records to social security numbers to addresses and phone numbers. So we need to do what we can to protect that information. But what we see, and if you look at the Podesta leak, and if you look at a lot of these other breaches that have occurred, it is basically at the lowest level that the breaches occur. Somebody clicked on a phishing email, and so I think
remarkable. I got to go there. John Podesta, the chairman of the Clinton campaign, a campaign that looked like was on the verge of victory, clicked on a link. Simple. He got an email and he gave personal information, and that arguably changed the future of America.
Well, it potentially did. But what we really need to look at, regardless of what happened there, is what can we do to protect ourselves? And that goes back to making sure that you have two-step authentication on your email, making sure that you have good passwords. And
but can I ask you about passwords?
Sure.
Because I'm about to jump off a cliff when it comes to passwords. I literally have pages of passwords because they're constantly requiring me to change it, to add a number, add a capitalization, and it's getting to a point where it really is untenable. Is there another way?
There is another way.
Please.
And first of all, I want to commend you for that, because a lot of people use the same password, and what happens, you have a big breach of, let's say, Yahoo. If you're using the same password as you did on your Facebook account, your Facebook could be breached, your Twitter could be breached, your bank account could be breached. So I commend you for having different passwords. What I have generally heard suggested is to use a password keeper. So do some research and find out which one is the most secure. I use a password keeper that uses two-step authentication.
Explain that.
So two-step authentication, you need 2 steps to get into the program. And for this, it's that it has to be on a recognized device, and then either use your thumbprint or use your password.
See, thumbprint, that would be wonderful, because your thumb's always there. Right. But the 4 letters and 3 numbers and a capitalization,
It's very easy on my phone. I just
Right.
use my password, open it up. The app recognizes that I am allowed to use it.
Right.
I'm allowed to open this app on my phone, and all my passwords are listed there. And then in addition, it allows you to create new passwords, so you don't have to come up with passwords yourself. So that's one way to take care of this conundrum of what you do about passwords. But it's extremely important to change passwords on all your accounts, and especially your accounts like your bank account. Now, where you are probably most vulnerable is through your email, because your email is used for password recovery. So let's say somebody has the account for your bank. They could just have the password sent to your email account if they were able to breach your email account. So I recommend for everybody that has email to use two-step authentication. And these breaches will happen. There are some pretty scary ones. There was a breach, or there was an issue with iPhone. I think it was last summer that allowed the iPhone to turn into a spy device, basically, where the microphone could hear what you are saying and the camera could see what you're doing. So the other thing that I always recommend is make sure to keep your software updated. So every time there is an iPhone update, make sure you download it, and when any of your apps need to be updated, you need to download those too, because these patches are generally security patches that will help keep you safer. And again, everybody is vulnerable. You just have to do what you can to protect yourself.
The phishing emails. How do we know? I mean, for me, it's just intuition, but I'm not that smart, you know. So
well, I'm very wary about clicking on anything, and these players are getting very clever also.
Right.
They are doing human engineering, and so what they'll do is they'll look at your Facebook account and find out the name of your sister, and then maybe use it in the body of your your email. So if you get a suspicious looking email from somebody you know, just send them a text message and ask them if they had actually sent it before you open the attachment. Eventually everybody's going to click on one of these because they are very, very clever, but just be wary anytime that you're asked to do it. Obviously, most people have learned that your bank is not asking for your social security number.
I mean, I get those daily. I mean, literally, daily, I get phishing emails.
And they're sent out by the millions to try to get somebody that's unsuspecting to put in their personal information. So be wary of that. If there's somebody that you email frequently back and forth, you can always put a code word on there. So if you email links, so you can use the word turtle, and then each of you know.
Where does the state go with this knowledge? Because it's a whole other ball of wax. I mean, does the state have passwords? I mean, I guess employees do.
We need to. So we have 160 different departments, and I had a bill a couple of years ago to require every department to do a basic security assessment. That's sort of step one in seeing what their vulnerabilities were. And we did some research. What we had done is some research and found out that most state departments are not doing these security assessments. So now we had an oversight hearing, and we're starting to move in that direction. But what they get out of the security assessment is also recommendations about how frequently you should change your password, what your vulnerabilities are, hopefully training employees not to click on suspicious links. And I've even heard private companies in our county, they send out fake phishing emails
to see what their employees do.
To see what their employees do.
Will you come back and talk more about this? This is critically important.
Yes.
Her name is Jacqui Irwin. She's a member of the California State Assembly. I'm Brad Pomerance in Sacramento. It's Local Edition.